Hello everyone, my name is Per and I'm your Spark & Co. Marketing Technology Manager and welcome to my pitching proposal. So let me start with a contradiction. So Spark & Co. is a company built on relationship but cannot retain relationship knowledge. It is a company that delivers data-driven campaigns but struggle to assess its own data when it matters most. And that contradiction is exactly where the problem lies. And today, as your marketing technology manager, I will show you why Spark & Co. biggest risk is not about market competition, but it's about the operational fragility. So, as we can see here, Spark & Co. is not failing. In fact, we're successful with $12.5 million in revenue, 400 plus campaigns delivered, and very strong brand reputation. But success had exposed a structural weakness. Our business has scaled, but the system has not. An inner service-based and relationship-driven model, this creates the compounding inefficiencies over time. And this gap is already impacting performance, which will be mentioned later. So therefore, our core objective now is not just about growth, but it should be scalable and sustainable growth. So let's reframe our problem together. This is not just a tool problem, it is a system design problem across 3 layers. The first one is the data layer, which is fragmented, inconsistent, and incomplete. The second one is our process layer. It is manual and non-standardized. And the most important one, people layer, meaning that we are still very dependent on individual knowledge. So when these 3 layers are misaligned, the impact is not just operational inefficiency, it's directly affect the revenue, the client relationship, and our scalability. And this is already visible in our business. We lost clients, we duplicated work, and we limit the ability to scale. So the key insight here is Spark & Co. does not have a technology gap, we're having an integration gap. So we already use tools like HubSpot, Woo Workspace, MailChimp, but what happened is they operate in isolation. So as a result, instead of enabling efficiency, they increase the complexity and slow down our execution. So we talk about MarTech, but what exactly is MarTech? So it's often misunderstood as a collection of tools. As you can see on the screen here, they are the definition of Scott Brinker, the father of MarTech and the Gartner Corporation. So applying this to our company, I conclude that MarTech is not just about tools, but it's about people, process, and data working together to create the leverage. And all should be into a continuous loop. And without that loop, we're not scaling, we're repeating. So to understand the problem clearly, we need to step back and take a look at the broader MarTech landscape. So over the past decade, this landscape has evolved dramatically. According to Scott Brinker, the number of marketing technology solutions has grown from around 150 in 2011 to over 15,000 in 2025, which increased 100 times. So this means that marketing today is no longer supported by a few tools, but it is a complex ecosystem of technology. So as you can see on the screen, in 2025, this ecosystem can be grouped into 6 key categories: advertising and promotion, content and experience, social and relationship, data, commerce and sales, and management. So each category plays a distinct role in the marketing system. So together, they form a complete marketing ecosystem. So now if we map this to Spark & Co., we can see a critical insight. Spark & Co. is already active in the execution focus area, but it is not perfect. We have a very good number, but it's not enough. So the first one is the content and experience category. You can see that team have produced more than 400 campaigns, but content and access are scattered, and reuse is minimal and making pitch preparation slow and very inconsistent. The second one is the social and relationship category. So client interaction exists, but the data is fragmented across multiple systems. So this limits the visibility into relationship history. And the third one is commerce and sales. So you can see the follow-ups are mostly manual, engagement is inconsistent, and campaigns are only partially tracked. This was waste time and risk losing high potential opportunity. So in short, I can say that our team worked very hard, but the lack of cross-layer integration will limit the skills, consistency, and impact. So based on the challenge that I have said, I propose a 3-part MarTech investment strategy. Focus on the area where Spark & Co. can create the most impact. So this corresponds directly to the three categories that we have just discussed before. So each component will address a specific gap, but together they form an integrated system. For example, CRM integration, they strengthen our data foundation first and giving us the single source of truth for the client relationship. Data Access Management, which called DAM system, they unlock the value of past campaigns and making content immediately usable for sales and marketing initiative. And the third one, the automation, they enable scalable growth with personalized engagement journey and data-driven prioritization. So now we will start with our foundation, our CRM system. So it's very essential to upgrade and fully adopt HubSpot. So from there, we can move from fragmented data to a single and centralized source of truth. So right now, interaction not only partially large and created data is managed separately, which limit the visibility and create inefficiency. So as you can see on the screen, research shown that CRM system deliver an average ROI of $8 for every $1 invested, and also it can boost sales by up to 29%. So with an integrated CRM like HubSpot, for example, Spark & Co can reduce knowledge loss, onboard new team members faster, and also maintain a very strong client continuity. This is especially critical because we are already seeing clients turn due to loss of relationship context. So now let's take a look on a case study that have the same situation with it that I have researched. It is that called Avison Young, and it is a real estate company, and they have the similar challenge with us with fragmented campaign data and disconnect workflows. And then they implemented HubSpot, and from there they can centralize campaign planning, access management, and perform tracking into one single system. And it makes the process more efficient and scalable with impressive result as you can see on the screen. Alright, so now we'll move to the second investment. So the second investment focus on content and access management. So even though Spark & Co had delivered like more than 400 campaigns, but only a small portion of that content is accessible and reusable. So this is kind of a huge waste of time because our team has to end up recreating work instead of leveraging what is already there. So this problem is actually quite common in all other agencies because as you can see, research shown that sales representative like spend an average 440 hours per year just for searching for the right content to share with their client. So it is very essential to implement a DAM system. In our case, Binder can be a good option. So from there, Spark & Co can centralize all campaign access and case study in one place. So now let's talk about scaling growth through automation. So right now, Spark & Co treat all brands and creators the same. Follow-ups are manual, engagement inconsistent, and tracking is limited. So this wastes time and risks missing the high potential opportunity. So by using the automation through HubSpot and MailChimp, we can create structured and personalized engagement journey. In my model, when a lead comes in, their data is automatically captured and segmented. Then automated workflows send relevant content over time. Because everything connected to CRM and DAM, each interaction is personalized, so teams don't have to search for the right content anymore. At the same time, engagement data feedbacks into the system, helping teams focus on high-intent leads. For Spark & Co, this means a better result. As you can see on the screen, and in short, automation doesn't replace people. It removes inconsistency and makes every interaction more effective. Alright, so as a marketing technology manager, the MarTech investment that I have presented before would really change my roles and how I work as well. So it will change me from the reactive task to thinking more strategically and managing system instead of just doing them and designing solutions that actually scale for our company. So with an integrated CRM, I can analyze client data and spot growth opportunity. A structured content system makes sure that past campaigns gets reused effectively, and automation lets me deliver personalized engagement journey at scale. So altogether, it's not only make work more efficient, but also increase the strategic impact I can have. So to make this work, I need more skill compared to the current situation, along with the strong organizational support. And at the end of the day, MarTech is not about just technology, it's about connecting people, process, and data. And for me, that is the kind of career I want to pursue, building the sustainable marketing technology system. And that is the end of my pitching proposal. Thank you very much for listening.